Welcome back to another replay. This time I've got my STA 1, the Tier 8 Japanese medium tank. This of course is my Ace game in it. And a couple of precursors. Firstly, this was during the medium mission, so I was grinding this and pretty much everything along the Japanese line. And secondly, I was playing this on about 4 hours sleep, so I do some really silly things that, yeah, I don't really know what I was doing, but anyway. So usually on this map, I usually like to go to this position, see if I can get some early spots on any heavies or slower moving tanks that sort of cross the gap that you're about to see in a second, get maybe a tracking shot or something. Unfortunately, I don't see anything on the initial pass except take a quick snapshot at a scout, and yeah, this is one of those yellow scouts. I really don't know what he was doing. But anyway, first kill, 600 damage done. I shot him, what, once or twice? Once, and then rammed him for the rest. Ironically, he damaged my turret with his only shot that he put into me. This is how things go when you're driving a Japanese tank. Lots of module damage. There's not a lot of armor in the hulls. Every shot ends up damaging something. It's a little bit like driving the Leopard 1 and the Leopard prototype and those types of tanks. So I got spotted there, and somewhere around soon, I basically start to think that Artie's going to be aiming in on me. I think about now I do. That's because I knocked over the house, and I don't know if Artie's looking at me, he might think he can put a shot into this corner. And here is the 4-hour sleep thing. I wonder whether I can shoot this building, and of course I can't. It's not often you see an Ace game start out with such sort of ridiculousness. It's also funny because since I've watched this replay, since then I've probably played a few more thousand games in the nice little snapshot there. I've played a few more thousand games in the with the Japanese tanks, and I've gotten sort of a lot more used to playing mediums. At this stage, the STA was basically my first true medium, so this tank taught me a lot about how to play mediums. And so you see a lot of things in here where I'm not 100% certain of what I want to do with this tank. Nice little tracking shot on the T-54 E1. So yeah, you'll see a lot of things like what I'm doing now. I'm sort of like, I'm just seeing if this guy's looking at me, take a snapshot, pull back. The last thing I want to do is basically get eaten up by that auto loader. He'll do a lot of damage to me. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he will. He can actually clip me out of in 3 shots. And now he's going around, and I don't take the shot because I don't want to hit my friendly just behind him. Not that it really mattered because he would have killed the friendly anyway. The friendly was 1 shot. Nice little tracking shot again. And I could have actually sat there and just kept shooting this guy, but I didn't really think of that at the time. Again, sometimes you got to be really careful of Artie, because Artie love Japanese tanks. So many full pens. And snapshot just misses. I should probably point out the gun handling stats on the STA-1 are just phenomenal. They are really, really nice. This is pretty much, ironically, this is the last of the good gun handling Japanese tanks that you get. After this, the gun handling goes out the window, and you get the Type 61 and the SDB. The gun handling is like terrible. You've really got to let those guns fully aim. But this one, no, you can snapshot all day long, and it's fine. Nice little shot into the T-54. And he doesn't quite get a shot into me. I wonder whether he's reloading now. Yeah, he probably was. But I wasn't loaded to take a second shot. So the game is pretty static. We've won this flank. The other flank is still... looks like they're stuck against. Can't quite see what it is. But... oh, there you go. There's a T-34 backing them up as well. And there's a nice... what was that? An ISU, I think it was. Take a quick snapshot at him. And then get myself stuck up on this. Bouncer shot. That's something you don't see quite as often with Japanese tanks, although the gun mantlet on the STA and the Type 61 are pretty decent. They will bounce some decent shells. Of course, it's nothing like the turret on the SDB or anything like that. It's nothing like a tank with armor. So we're kind of starting to lose the game a little bit here, and look at that. Not quite where I wanted to go, but still pretty close to center, given that I gave it like half a second to aim. And you gotta remember, you're actually looking at the server reticle here, so that is actually what the server is seeing. And the bloom on that was huge, but it still went pretty much center. It dipped a little bit. So we're still losing 7 to 9. At this stage, I'm just sort of playing to basically play the game. I'm not doing a lot. Shell into the LTTB. And at this stage, I'm sort of worried about... And he just turns in time and bounces the shell along the side. At this stage, I'm sort of worried about getting circled by this scout. Something the traverse is not too bad on the STA, so I shouldn't worry about it too much. But pretty much previous to this, I've been playing the Cheery, and before that was the Cheeto. And before that, there wasn't really any medium tanks that were like true medium tanks. I've been playing like Panzer IVs, and I hadn't played the M4, but T-34, sort of like a medium. But they don't have like the survivability that you're looking for. STA's got as much health, well no, not as much health as a heavy of the same tier, but it's not far off. It's got good mobility, good gun depression, excellent. Actually, the gun, everything to do with the gun on this tank is incredible. The DPM is really good, the penetration is second highest in class, and only about 7 mil behind the Centurion 1. Gun depression is really good. Gun handling stats are just, all in all, just really, really excellent for its class. So it's definitely one of the better tier 8 mediums in the actual game. So at this stage, we've pulled it back. It's 9-10, still a little bit behind, and we can see here this LTTB's got around and basically holding up 3 of our tanks. And probably, oh no, he wouldn't be spotting our arty from there, but he wouldn't be far off from it. If he goes for a run towards our cap, he'll spot the arty. But of course, the Jagdpanther 2 takes him out. So at this stage, I was going to snipe across. I saw the other flank had fallen, so I was going to snipe across at them. And then I see that basically they're not coming from there, and it's only 10-10. There's still 5 of them, but one of them's arty, so I really only have to worry about 4 tanks. And at this stage, I've still got a lot of HP, so I might as well see if I can spot anything and see if push them back a little bit. So move into here to try and spot, and I think the Jagdpanther 2 spotted the T-44. And this T-44 had a really good game. He actually, he tried his best to win this game. He sort of poked out where he needed to and shot people when he needed to. You'll see more of him later on though. So at this stage I figure T-44 is a one-shot, so I'll try and see if I can get here quick enough to take him out. And that's when the Tiger P gets spotted. So, let's see if I got a shot. No, I don't have a shot on him. Head back towards, oh no, SU's been spotted now, and also don't have spotted him. So I'm kind of like just seeing if the T-44 is here, and T-44 has already disappeared. And then the SU gets spotted again. Now this SU being on a lot of, he's got a lot of HP, that's kind of a bit of an issue. And plus his gun can fully penetrate my hull and deal full damage, so I'm a chance to... unless he high rolls, I probably wouldn't die. But there's always the module damage that comes with a large HE shell, and there's no telling he could blow up my ammo rack, or who knows, set the engine on fire, fuel tanks on fire, kill who knows however many crew members. This is also, ironically, speaking of crew members, the first Japanese tank that drops the radio operator and leaves him behind. Which was kind of a little bit annoying, because at the time I think there was this 2 skill crew on with this crew, and the radio operator had situational awareness, so I had extra view range. And it would have helped a little bit here, because I do have coded optics on this tank, but as you can see on the map, I don't have that on the move snapshot, and it hits where I want it to. But yes, I had coded optics on it, but as you can see, I don't have max spotting distance. So a little something like a skill like situation awareness would have helped. Of course, that went with the radio operator who got left in the Cheery. And the SU moves just as I go to pull the trigger, and now I'm getting shot at by a Tiger P. And I thought about shooting him further around, but I just go for the retracking shot and then finish him off. And there's that T-44 again, just sort of chips in and then disappears. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking he might try for another go at me. But I also know the target P. And tracks, I take the damage. Don't get tracked. Go for the lower glacis. Now he's basically a two-shot for me. I can't quite, unless I high roll by a lot, I can't take him out here. And he's fired into the turret. Turret's not particularly strong. Then the M103 takes out the target P. Now at this stage, this is where I started realizing I'm actually having a pretty good game, and I'm playing reasonably well, despite the fact that I'm on about 4 hours of sleep. And you'll hear in a second, this was soon after the patch where they brought in the explosive barrels, and whenever you drive over them, you hear the sound of explosions. So at this stage, I'm thinking the T-44 is probably going to try and have another go at me, maybe. But he doesn't. So I figure I might go into town again, see if I can kill the Artie, because the Artie was spotted somewhere. Oh, he's been spotted at the back, but I might find someone. And there's those explosions. So I know someone's in town, I know someone's here. ISU gets spotted, and there's the Artie, who stops right there, and T-44 again, a sneaky shot. Like I said, this guy had actually a pretty decent game. He's trying everything he can to win this game. He's trying to keep his HP up. He's obviously taken a big hit at some stage, but at this point I realise I can take a shot from him and survive. He can't, and I take him out. So 3,500 damage, 4 kills, and now I know the ISU is out there, and initially I was going to drive across towards him. And you can see when I'm sort of thinking about it, it's like, I'm just going to wait for him to be respotted, but then I sort of realised that there's only a Jagdpanther 2 to really do the spotting. The Artie probably won't spot from his position, so what I'm going to do is play the view range game. I do have coded optics, so I have about 400 and... I think it works out to be about 429 spotting distance, and I don't know of anyone that puts view range equipment on ISUs. Usually they just try and max out the gun as much as possible, because that is everything to do about the gun. So I figure I can outspot the ISU before he can even spot me. The Jagdpanther 2 ends up spotting him, and I don't have a shot on him. And I'll see in a second, Artie did put a shell in somewhere nearby, and I'm sort of guessing that Artie is most likely damaged him. I thought it was pretty close, so I figured Artie's probably damaged him, but hasn't obviously taken him out. So I'm just going to come around the back. And there is, and I was right, Artie did indeed hit him for about 100 or so. And snapshot, straight down the middle. Thanks for coming. So, end game screen, you can see 3.7k damage done, 1342 XP, which is about what you expect for an ace game. Damaged a total of 9 tanks and killed 5 of those. Not a bad game considering I was only on 4 hours of sleep, and you can kind of see if you can keep a Japanese tank alive long enough, you can do a lot of damage with it. And that's basically what I ended up doing there. Artie left me alone, didn't get smashed by too many tanks, and yeah, just made sure I traded well, and voila, ace game.